Well, hello everybody. I had a request to do a Blender tutorial on actually there was a individual on the Blender Knowledge Base group on Facebook, and he had a puzzle scene, and he was trying to apply a texture image to the surface of the entire puzzle, and then he was going to move the pieces around, and I suggested that he make the entire puzzle as one mesh, and then um, use hooks to do the puzzle pieces. So I'm going to do a quick tutorial. I'm going to make a really cheesy puzzle here. Bear with me. I'm just going to use square puzzle pieces. I'm going to make these thinner, about so, for a puzzle. We'll switch to top view. Make sure you are in ortho, not perspective, so you can just toggle that by hitting 5 on your numpad. I'm going to switch to wireframe, and then I'm selecting the entire cube here with A, and I'm going to duplicate the entire cube, and holding down Control to constrain this to the grid. I'm going to just I don't know, probably do about a 9 by 9 here. So just Control and Shift D to duplicate, or Control D to duplicate, and then Control to move it by the grid. Okay, so now we have, if we toggle out of edit mode, put this back into perspective, it looks like just a plane, but we do have go to face select here. We have faces between every one of these. So if we select a single face and then hit Control plus with numpad, we will select just this one piece. So that's one puzzle piece. So basically then we'll just switch to top view. Again, flip it to ortho just because it looks a little nicer. Go into edit mode, select all faces, then we just want to unwrap, project from view will do. And basically what that's going to do for us, if we jump over to UV editing, we just now have the top view of the mesh right here in the UV editor. And I'm just going to open an image. Don't know what I'll use. This looks like a good image. I know it's kind of cheesy to use, but we'll just scale that up. I know this is not going to be scaled correctly because this is a square puzzle, so I should use a square image in the background. I think actually we can fix that if we project from view again. Yep, we'll make it square now. And then just scale it to the size I want. And then if we want to preview that, Alt-Z, I believe it is. There we go. And we have the puzzle with the mesh, or the picture on the mesh. I'll just jump back to default here. Toggle it to texture mode again, so we can see that now if we edit this, I can select face select here, and then Control plus to select that entire face, or that entire piece, and now I can move this around. So now what I want to do is I'll go back into top view, go to wireframe, and just click on this face, Control plus to select the entire mesh, or all, actually Control plus, it selects all adjoining faces or vertices or edges depending on what mode you're using. And then I just hit Control H and hook to new object. And now if I tab out of edit mode, I have an empty here that will control all of those vertices that were selected. So just jumping back into edit mode on the mesh, just make a hook for new object on all of these. I know it takes a little while to do this, but I'm fairly certain that using this method is probably a lot faster than individually unwrapping all of these pieces and then making sure it all lines up right. Okay, so they're all hooked up now. It just puts an empty in the center of each. Go back to texture mode. I can just select the empty now, pull my pieces around. I can select the mesh, and it doesn't move anything. You have to use the empties to select them. So basically, we could, pull out some puzzle pieces here. I could rotate a puzzle piece if I want, put it like that. Just do a quick render. Yes, we do have to apply the texture yet to this material, or to the mesh rather. Just jump over here, just new material, I'll leave it as default settings. Texture is going to be an image. I want to use my image, my picture there. Influence of color, mapping, we just need to set that to UV. And then when we render it, we will see our picture. Now, you will notice, because how it was unwrapped, the picture goes straight through. Chances are you're not going to want that. So what we should be able to do, and yes, I didn't experiment beforehand. What we should be able to do though is, just in face select mode, I am selecting all of the, looks like I may have got some of the top faces. I'm just going to come through and select all the edges and the bottoms on all of the mesh. The top faces are not selected. I know it might be a little tough to tell, but they're the little black dots there that aren't selected. And then I'm actually going to make a new material here. New material, and we'll make a new, and we're going to assign that material. So now when we go back to shaded mode, it still will look like that, but when we render it, the edges are now my new material. So you could tweak your new material to be, the cardboard texture, the cardboard color, whatever, just a very flat with no specularity on it. Whereas your material of the puzzle, generally speaking, puzzle tops, they're kind of a shiny look. So you might want to, do that. But yes, basically, just putting a hook on each puzzle piece. Then I can just go to top view in ortho. Unfortunately, you can't see the empties because they're just, a straight line there, so they're kind of tough to see in top view. So if you do Control Alt Q, you can split to the quad view, and then you can select from your camera view, and then you can grab your pieces in top view and say, yeah, I want to move this one over here and rotate it a little bit. And oh, well, this piece is now connecting on that one, and in real life pieces can't be through each other, and let's pull that one out of space a little bit so there's that human error in there. Of course, I realize if you had a more more detailed puzzle rather than squares, you couldn't have that amount of human error, and but for this instance we can do that. I'm just going to move the light over here to the edge, maybe reposition my camera a little bit, and yeah, let's just do a final render here. So there you go. Pretty much real simple. Just do the hooks on each of these squares, and then using the hooks you can do anything with hooks. You can scale, and you can scale on individual axes. You can rotate. You can grab and move and manipulate. You can insert all your keyframes. You can move layers. That doesn't work. So you can't move layers. But yeah, anything else you can do. And if you really did need to move a piece to another layer, you can't. But you can just move it behind the camera where you won't see it. And then yeah, again, if you want to make any changes, just select your mesh and tab, and all the pieces jump right back together. So you could say you noticed you had some, when you assigned your new material, you missed some pieces. Rather than if you had moved them on the Z-axis, you can just hit tab, go back to edit mode, which you'd have to do anyways to assign the textures. But all the pieces will snap right back together. So then, if you do need to make a change, maybe a puzzle piece needs to be adjusted a little bit because of whatever, maybe the texture is, something you want to be able to read right on a seam and you don't like how it looks, you can go back, just tab into edit mode, it all snaps back to the original shape. Do that edit, you'll have to unwrap it again because it's still going to be unwrapped with your old unwrapping, and you're going to have squished pieces and stretched out pieces from where you moved your vertices around. But just unwrap it and you'll be all set. So there you go. Hopefully that was helpful to somebody. Hopefully this will help you out in some way, form, facet, or manner. But yeah, thanks for watching. God bless.